So first part is done. We have been able to successfully exploit the target machine and gain access. But we are not yet root user, so we are limited by what we can actually perform on this computer. Up next is privilege escalation. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and like this video. All right, let's continue to privilege escalation. Now we are on this machine. We want to escalate our privileges. What this means is this user, this who am I here, this guy is limited in the things that it can do, and we want to get root access to this target machine. And to do that, we need to escalate our privileges. And there are tools available for us to do this. So let's do ls to see what we have here. Okay, it's a bunch of files. So let's see what we can do. Let's start out etc shadow file to see if we have access. As you can see, permission denied because we are not root user. So let's see what else we can do. Password file. Sorry, it's okay. So it looks like we can run this. So this file basically shows us the users that are registered on this target machine. From the top, you will see the root, and then towards the bottom, you see the added users. We can see Grimmy here. Remember Grimmy from our notes. Let's go up here. This guy. Remember that Grimmy has set up, he is the one that set up the test website. Okay. So it's interesting to see what we have about this guy. And then it's written here that he's an administrator. All right. So we have an administrator here. So we have a user that we can pinpoint on this machine. But then we need to perform some further scanning and enumeration to see the areas or places where we can exploit to get root access. Now there are certain tools available online that we can use for this. So let's go back to our Google and type in linpeas. So linpeas is a Linux privilege escalation tool. Okay. Now, if you go through this GitHub, you might run into issues when you try to download it. So I've gone ahead and tried it out, and I'm saving you this choice. You can click on this link here, this particular one, linpeas.sh. So it takes you to the direct website where you can actually copy the codes. So it brings you here. What you can do is Control A as always, Control C, and close this out. So let's go ahead and open a new tab. So now what we want to do is we want to create this malicious file here that we can use to we want to run it on the target machine and then be able to scan that machine and then gain access. But we have a problem. From the connection we have here, we are not root users, so there is a limit to what we can actually do here. And mind you, this file is not on this target machine, so we need to find a way to bring this file to this target machine. Now what we can do is we can come here and create a new file. Let's call it linpeas.sh. So you can use either nano or mousepad. linpeas.sh. So you can come here and paste it. All right, go ahead and save the file, and you can close it. All right, so we have our linpeas.sh here. We have our files. Okay, so now this file is on our on our attacker machine, but we need a way to get it to this our target machine. So we can do that by setting up a HTTP server on our attacker machine and then have our target machine download that file from there. So what you can do, first of all, I would like to create a new folder and call it malicious. Now I want to move this linpeas.sh. So move linpeas.sh to current folder malicious. Alright, so when we cd2, so we see this file here. So now what we want to do is we want to set up a server here. Python can do that for us very easily. We can do Python 3 if you're using Python 3, then -m for module, then we need a HTTP server and we need it on port 80. So it's our server is now running. So what we can do is we go back to our target machine and then we need to get into a location where we can be able to run files. So let me set it to temp, and then we need to get from our server that we just hosted HTTP our attacker IP 192.168. So this is my own IP address .59.5. My IP address is 5, then slash the file we want to get linpeas.sh. So it's successful, we've gotten this. Now we want to make sure that we are able to run it. So to do that, we want to change mode X as executable for linpeas.sh. Hit enter. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to run this and to go on and scan the target machine for us. So let's go ahead and run that and then get our fingers crossed. So to do that, we do linpeas.sh. Okay, it looks like linpeas is done scanning. So let's go back all the way to the top. Okay, so this is the beginning of the scan. Now what this tool is doing is scanning the target machine and then trying to get potential vulnerabilities that we can exploit in order to get root access says here that the coloring of red and yellow is a 95% chance of an exploitable vulnerability. And when we see red, we should definitely take a look at. So we are looking for red basically. So it goes on, and I want you to pay attention to the headers. So here it's our basic information about our target. So the target is Linux version 4, Debian, system information, all that. Now, the very interesting things are when you scroll all the way down, okay, we are seeing backup files and we are seeing this administrator, the same guy that set up that website. So this is the Grimy and it's an administrator, and we see that he has a file here called backup.sh and it is highlighted red. So we should definitely take a look at this, and it is at home Grimy backup.sh. So let's copy this back to our notes, paste it here. All right, so we have that. Let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. Okay, interesting. Searching for passwords in config PHP files. Remember that Grimy is an admin. So we can see Academy admin here. Okay, and we are seeing config. So we are seeing MySQL password. This can be very interesting to us. So let's go ahead and copy it also. Now what we are doing is we are also getting as much information as we can get, which can be useful for our exploitation. All right. So it looks like we now have a user, Grimy, that has this file located at this user address, and then we have a password. Excuse me. But then, how do we get to this file? So let's, for example, take a look at let's cd2 home sorry Grimy backup. Now let's get here first. Let's print a working directory. So let's list what we have here. So you see that we have this backup.sh here, but I doubt we can execute this file because we are not the user, we are not the owner of the file, right? Now, but remember from our nmap scan, we saw that the SSH port was open. And now that we know a user that is an administrator and then some password there, we can try to brute force and test out to see if we can get access to a shell there. So I will go ahead and open a new tab. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me zoom in. I'm going to SSH Grimy at our target IP address, and it's requesting for password. Let's go ahead and copy this password. My very secure pass, copy it and paste. Hit enter. Amazing. So we've been able to get shell access to this administrator account using the SSH port, right? So let's go ahead and list what we have here. We have this backup.sh. So let's take a look at what it contains. So that's backup.sh. interesting. Okay, so basically, I think it's removing a backup.zip and then creating another one and then changing the permissions on that file. This is interesting because if we go back to this our scan, we go back to the scan and we check for where it is written cron jobs. Okay, so these are processes and crons and timers. So basically what this does is there are files that have been put and then scheduled to run intermittently. So let's say every 1 minute, every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes they run. So I am taking a guess because basically as attackers you need to make some intelligent guesses and then you try and then you try. If it doesn't work, you try again. So we are going to try to modify this. So we're going to try to modify this with a malicious code and then see if we can get root access from that. And now this is a bash. This is a bash file. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead to Google once more. So we are looking for bash this time around. So we are looking for uh, reverse shell. We need a one line. Okay. So pen test monkey. Let's take a look at what we have here. Okay, I can see right at the top here that we have this, just exactly what we are looking for. So go ahead and copy it. Now, before we modify this, we need to change some things in it. So mousepad backup.sh, mousepad not found. Okay, let's do nano backup.sh. We are trying to modify this backup file. Okay, so now what we can do is we want to replace the content here with our malicious code. So go ahead and paste. Now we want to make sure that we are listening on our own IP address. So go ahead and put in your attacker IP address 192.168. This is my own IP address 59.5, and then we can leave the port the same, port 80. Now before I save this, I want to go ahead and be listening on port 8080. So MC, let's change the port to 8080. So we are listening on port 8080. Now let's get back here. Now once we save, Ctrl X, yes, hit enter. Now if we are successful, we should be seeing a root access here if our guess is correct. Let's wait, let's wait. If it doesn't work, we try again, because as hackers you need to try. You try one method, it doesn't work, you try another method. Amazing. Did you see what just happened? What just happened is we have been able to get uh, root access here because now our ID here has changed to root. So let's say who am I? And you can see root here. So congratulations, you've been able to perform privilege escalation on this target machine. ID, so ID is root. Wonderful. So let's see what we have here. We have a flag. So cat flag.txt. All right, say congrats, you rooted this box. Looks like this CMS isn't so secure. I hope you enjoyed it. If you had any issues, please let us know in the course Discord. Happy hacking. All right, so we've been able to penetrate the target machine and then perform privilege escalation. So if you made it this far, you can consider giving us a like and then subscribing to this channel. Until next time, bye.